You know what? I think getting him on the back end of the sparring was more so to just make sure the eyes and the focus and everything's there. He is one of the sharpest boxers I've ever been in the ring with. I'm sure it won't change. It won't change much after being in the ring with Terrence. I would imagine that Terrence will be the sharpest, but that boy Tank is sharp.
Why not? You know, so we went up to his gym and we got working. You know, I know for sure after that sparring session, you know, Shawn know that, you know, I can hold my own. You know, I can see the same for Shawn. You know, so he know that, you know, I'm one of them top guys, I say.
That's great. We'll wrap it up with this.
All right, so, you know, a lot of people watched that video. I looked at other channels, and people are looking at his facial expressions, implying that, you know, and you know, sparring is, you know, you can't go hard in sparring, all right? This is not a pre-fight to see who could do whatever. Well, listen, in sparring, it's offense, give me defense, throw certain things to me, you know, because you can't go hard. You got to fight next week, man. You got a fight coming up this week. So whatever expressions that Tank got on his face to make it look like, maybe Shawn, well, he said it. Shawn knows that he's an elite fighter and he could bang with the best. I think they had that sparring at 150, 152, 53, right? And the way I see it is that if he's implying a way by him smiling, but, you know, Tank always smiling and joking around or whatever, but you could take it any way. You could say that he got the best Porter, but I don't see that. I don't see that he's getting the best support, but if it happened, it happened. But, you know, when you're sparring, you ask your opponent for certain things so you could shine your toolbox, your tools in your toolbox, and figure some stuff out. So I can't see getting anything out of this, to tell you the truth. I just don't see anything getting out of this, but just controversy and stuff like that. But I got something out of it. You know what I got out of it? Well, if you saying that Porter, after this sparring, you could say that he know that you could bang with the best at whatever weight. Well, my friend, I think it's time for you to go up. Yeah, because, you know, if we're not going to see, like I said, this is a virus going on, and it's less risk, high reward. But I noticed you said something about how Canelo is you at 168. So you did a little comparison, you know, and stuff like that about how you would fight, and you compare yourself to Canelo, or Canelo, you compare Canelo as you. But, you know, if you're going to do that, let's not just do greatness and stuff like that. Let's do like, why don't you be like Canelo and move up some divisions? Yeah. But you don't make the choices. Just like Manny Pacquiao used to say, put anyone in front of me and I'll fight him, right? And his promoter mostly put him in in-house fights, fighting the same Timothy Bradley, Morales, Vera, you know, in-house fights where he could get, you know, rematches and stuff like that. But, so when Tank say that, can I say Tank has a choice of who he wants to fight to be great? Like Canelo? Like he could choose to go from this division to that division, now deciding to go to cruiserweight. But let's say you wanted to go up to 147. Would you, you know, I know Ellaby, man, he, you know what, let this dude talk about Ellaby for you. Let him talk to you about Ellaby in his mouth, right? All right.
The hair, Keith.
Thank you.
Keith, are you insulted?
It's time for something new, baby.
Are you insulted by Tank?
All right, thank you, Keith. I'm insulted by Leonard Ellaby.
Why?
Tank didn't say nothing. Y'all need to all understand this real quick. Gervonta Davis hasn't said anything. His team said this. Who's Deontay Boxer? Deontay Boxer made some said Deontay Boxer said something. Tank has a response for Thurman. I didn't see his mouth. I didn't see his mouth. He's fighting welterweights in the ring. I heard Ellaby said he has a welterweight fight. When they asked me who it was, I said Danny. I wasn't thinking the right mind, but what I meant was Garcia, Mikey Garcia, right? Because the truth is, when lightweights move up, let's just go over history. When lightweights move up, real talk, lightweights fight other lightweights that already moved up into the welterweight division. Lightweights don't just fight welterweights. Adrian Broner fought Paulie Malignaggi. That was not a real welterweight. When he got into the real welterweight mix, he started taking L's. I'm not saying that Gervonta Davis is just going to take L's. He's that kind of fighter. At the end of the day, when you move up in the right way. A lot of people do it. If he has a great fight, a great pay-per-view fight, I think the Mikey Garcia is a great pay-per-view fight. Is that the fight? Do they really want to just go in with Keith Thurman? You know me. That's why I'm calling out Ellaby. Don't play me nanosecond. I've been here for way more than a nanosecond. I've been waiting on the phone call way more than a nanosecond. I don't play games. Give me the contract. Show me the date. Show me the money I'm about to put in the bank, and you're going to see my name signed on the dotted line.
Yeah, so, you know, Keith Thurman is letting them know, or Ellaby, not Tank, because Tank is, Ellaby is the one that was talking and putting shit out there in the atmosphere. When it comes to Tank, he didn't hear this from Tank, but I'm looking, you know, I'm reading between the lines and I'm seeing the past that, you know, Keith Thurman said this, and to the future where Shawn Porter and Tank Davis fought, and Tank Davis, you know, he has a smirk that he feels confident he could move up in weight. I'm just looking at the body signs, the body language with his face and expressions. Like I said, people could take that like he gave Porter a lot of work to handle, and Porter couldn't handle it, or they was neck and neck with it, right? But I don't see it that way. I mean, listen, like I said, you're not going to exert so much energy, you know, and suffer an injury and this and that. This is not going on in sparring right now when you're so close to a Terrence Crawford fight. So, yeah, maybe the way his facial expression with Tank could make you think all kinds of way, or if you're a favorite of Tank, you'll feel like, yeah, he got the best of Porter. It's news. You know, you can put it out there, you know. But the way I see it, is it less risk, a reward? I mean, because you was talking about how you're like Canelo. Canelo's like you, but can you be like Canelo and move up in divisions? Because all the great ones do it. They do it. Now, like Keith Thurman said, you know, usually lightweights move up and they fight lightweights that's moving up to another division before they get their feet wet and get in there with the elites. But if you're saying that you could adjust and go straight up there and fight an elite, well, whether Keith Thurman is hiding or not really anticipating in boxing right now, or whatever way you want to see it, he said right there, if you want to take that risk, bring it. Now, would Ellaby and the TMT team let you take that risk going up divisions? Because that is part of being great. And if Ellaby is opposing that Keith Thurman only been here a nanosecond, and he's giving these things to say, well, don't clout chase now. Don't clout chase, because this is the time for you to move up if you want to take a fight at 147 and prove your greatness. Yeah, but if the risk is like this, look, this is all I can hear. Well, what have Keith done for me to go up and fight him? He has nothing. You see now, like Canelo, he's going up to fight, right? And this dude has a belt, and what's the risk and what's the reward, right? If I'm going to go up a division, I might as well get a belt, right? But if you don't feel that confident, the way you feel like you're confident with Porter, we will read between the lines in the future if you decide to skip weight divisions, 130, 135, or whatever, to go up to 147. We will see if you'll fight a light touch-up Or would you fight somebody elite like Porter, a Shawn Porter, a Keith Thurman, you know, these fighters? Because I just swear that smirk make me feel like you got it, man. If you're implying that you got it, then I'm going to take your facial expressions and I'm going to say, yeah, this dude, he got it, man. So if Keith Thurman say, listen, sign at the bottom line, and I'll take the fight, hey, I think Keith Thurman would take that fight. I think Keith Thurman would take that fight because that's a big fight. He just had a big fight with Manny Pacquiao. He's looking for a big fight to put him back on the map, right? So his risk and his reward is more because if he does that, he's the man. Now, do Tank want to take that risk? Now, I'm just looking at your facial expressions, brother, that you got this. But, you know, later on in the future, you know, there's one question I will always ask Porter on his podcast. And if anybody out there is a big Porter fan that watches his podcast like I do, I watch his podcast. When somebody calls in or somebody have a question, one of the questions I'm kind of curious now, since he sparred Tank Davis, is that if Manny Pacquiao, there you go, Pacquiao, well, I got to put my man in, yo. You know, even though he's not here, y'all always say Floyd this, Floyd that, and what if Floyd this. Well, I'm the only one that's doing it, and I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to ask him because, you know, Porter sparred with the great ones at different eras. So I will ask him, listen, I know Manny Pacquiao and Tank is exactly the same height and exactly the same reach. If you want to say, go check it out on BoxRec. All right? Like I always say, they both have big heads, right? So I'm wondering, I will ask Shawn, yo, Shawn, you fought Manny Pacquiao in his prime. How would a Manny Pacquiao in his prime would do to Tank Davis in his prime? And what's the differences in speed, power, footwork, and how would that fight take place if it was to happen? You know, I'm kind of curious because I know a prime Manny Pacquiao, he has faster feet, he has power, but he has power the power that stings you, and the punches that you can't see that clips you is the ones that hurts the most. And then we know we got my man Tank that's got power, good movement, good foot movement. I don't think he got better foot movement of a prime Manny Pacquiao, but he has power, right? But with power, you got to set up your punches, right? We also know that Tank also gets hit somewhat. So to me, that's like a good matchup. But you know how people say when Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao, and people say, well, hey, if that was Spence, it would have been worse for Manny Pacquiao. Well, I'm just doing the shit that everybody else do in relations to if I wonder. My imagination goes wild, right? If there was a Manny Pacquiao versus a Tank and they both at their prime, how would that go? Because they both the same height, they both same reach, and they both southpaws. How would that go? And I'd like to get Shawn Porter's intake on that. So that's a good question for in the future on this podcast. You know, but for now, I'm expecting greatness from Tank, because I like Tank. Like I said, I always like all my southpaws, Usyk, Loma, Tank Davis, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. You know, a lot of dudes I like that southpaw. I enjoy watching them because I relate to it because I'm southpaw. So I watch that. And basically, the domination of the welterweight division at one time was all southpaws. You had Manny Pacquiao, Terrence, and Errol. They was all southpaws. Plus switcher for one, Crawford, right? But that was dominating. The southpaws were dominating the welterweight division. As letters we don't talk about. But Tank Davis, if you're really about that smirk and that smile, I'm watching you in the future to see what you're going to do. Now, if you can't make your own moves, well, then we don't know. If you can't make on your moves and there's the virus going on now, right? You could do this. You could Because the way I see it, are we gonna see a fight with Regis Prograis? You could have done that. He's a free agent. We could have see a fight with Devin Haney, but I don't think that ain't gonna happen, because this is what Ella B said again. Like,
guys, this question first of all is for Johnson Davis, or maybe Leonard. You could probably answer this better. Eddie Hearn a few weeks back mentioned to me that he was looking to throw Devin Haney's name into the mix for this fight. Can you confirm if a concrete offer was ever made?
And fuck Eddie Hearn. Fuck Eddie Hearn. We're here to talk about Eastside Cruz. We got a big pay-per-view fight on December the 5th.
No problem at all. The next question is for Isaac Cruz then. Isaac, a lot of people are tipping...
Yeah, is all laughing now. So we're not gonna see a Devin Haney on the mannerism of Ella B, and you know, they're not gonna get along, Eddie Hearn. So we're not gonna see a Devin Haney. We're not gonna see a Regis Prograis. We could have seen these two fights. You know, we could have seen some great fights there, but it didn't happen. So he's fighting Pitbull. Well, he was supposed to fight Rolly, but Rolly have cases. But what boxer don't have cases or alleged situations? I know Tank got some situations himself, and he's still multitasking and have court dates and still fighting. But all of a sudden, this dude, he got alleged Me Too sexual harassments and stuff like that, and he can't box. I mean, we need money. If you got harassment cases, and you're gonna need money. All right, this is the best time to fight. This is the way I see it, okay? Because if you're losing your case, you're gonna have to be paying out, and you're gonna have situations with lawyers and all that. So I don't see why a fighter can't multitask, knowing that he's got to be at court. Anyway, all this jive and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm just saying that we're not gonna see Devin Haney. We could see that by Ella B. Tank says whoever they put in front of me. So I'm just waiting to see how this virus is going to move with Tank now. And the Tank is going to move up and fight an elite boxer like Shawn Porter, you know, maybe Danny Garcia, you know. Or you going to do like what Mikey did? Mikey Garcia, he went up and fought Errol Spence. Regardless if he won or he lost, he did it. Mikey did it, right? So are you going to do this, or are the team is not going to allow you to fight anybody that's a big elite fight at 147? Or are you just going to get a touch up to feel it out? But we will soon come to know if that smirk on your face to say that you did good work with Porter in the future by your choice and choosing who you're going to pick at the welterweight division. So that's all I got to say. All these videos and clips, you got to keep in tune, because right now it might say one thing, but when it's time to show action, it might be another. That's it. So here, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines and keep things in mind. So when the future comes, you see, yeah, I remember when Tank was talking about he did good, and you know, he showed Porter that he can hang with the big ones, right? But now, in the future, I'm seeing something different, or I'm seeing the truth about what Tank said in the past. All right. Got to get out of here. Time to get on the plantation. My 9 to 5, so I can stay alive. Humble. Yeah. All right. 1.